Everybody, Dave from Area Arachnids. We are going to do some feedings today. Hold on, let me get you set here. We're going to start out with a Tarantula marianus tete. I think this is the male. I don't remember. It's not labeled yet, so I'm redoing my labels. And I want to make sure. We'll wait for this one to molt again to be sure, or the other female. Let's see if she'll come out. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, you missed it. Got it up there. Yeah, I figured she would come out of that hole there, and she snuck attack the back hole. So, well, we're not starting out great, but at least you got to see her real quick, and we'll move on. Next, we're going to try and feed the you.male species blue. 0 for 2. They both fed, but off camera. Not sure the sex of this one. Molt destroyer, and I haven't had a good ventral shot of this one at all. So, although it does like to stay on the side of the enclosure, you'll see my finger right here. Every time I take the enclosure down, then of course the spider goes down. So as soon as we get her to move off that spot, we'll clean that dish out and give her some water and put her. I'm going to say her because my last one was a male. Hopefully this one's a female. Next up is the Acanthoscurria musculosa. Let's see if... Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, we at least caught a little bit. This is a male. Again, we're trying to get this one to molt. So we're doing some feedings. It's warming up here now, so a little bit larger in the abdomen than normally that I normally feed. I know a lot of people don't really worry about that much, but I tend to like them on the leaner side. But we want to get this one molted. There's a couple females floating out there that need some males. So, yep, Acanthoscurria musculosa. This is my Grammostola pulchra. There you go. Another one I want to get to molt so I can get this one sexed. There's a hair in there. Let me see if I can get it out with the tweezers. No, well, there they are. Yeah, my last one was a male. So we're kind of hoping for a female here. Bailey hair from my shepherd. Her hair gets everywhere. Those of you that have German shepherds slash, she's also part Alaskan husky. You know how much they shed, and her hair gets everywhere. You can see water dish buried as usual. I don't even know why I bother putting a dish in with this one. Because she definitely will fill it right back up with water, or I mean with substrate. She doesn't like water in her enclosure, so I just make sure that I feed her a little bit more with well-hydrated prey items. Okay, so next up here is another Tarantula marianus tete. I'm not sure, again, this is either the other female or the male, and the roach is going down there, and spider attack. So the general area of hiding is underneath that piece of wood. There is a little bit of a burrow she has there, but not much. And she dug out, I think this is the female, the other one was the male. And she dug out this corner back here, but she generally stays underneath that thing there. Next up is one of the spiders that has the most personality in my collection. This is the Phormictopus species gold carapace. So it would be, I guess, the species green femur gold carapace, something of that nature. Definitely likes to eat. Maybe likes to eat. Didn't like to eat that time. Here comes the roach for, oh, going back the other way. Roach is doing the counterclockwise circulation of the enclosure. It's now stuck in the side here. We're going to help it a little bit. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Phormictopus are absolutely gorgeous spiders. And this one isn't even full grown, not even close to full grown. It's still a juvenile, maybe 2.5, 3 inches long. Suspected female. If she can get off that water dish, I'll try and put water in there, but she'll probably attack it, or she'll take off. like I said. She is very flighty and has a ton of personality, but a very, very beautiful spider nonetheless. Alright, let's move on. This is the third Tarantula marinus tete locale. This is definitely a confirmed female. This one just molted about a week and a half or so ago. Maybe 2 weeks. I really honestly can't remember. But we'll see if we can get this one to come out. Why do I feel like I'm on Zoom all the time here? I'm not, but I feel like it. This is the one enclosure I dislike the most. I cannot... Oh, yep, she's got it. The roach went down inside there. She's got it. Here's why. I drilled decent sized holes here. And I can't leave prey items in there because they'll crawl right out. Oh, bumping the tripod. Alright, we're going to leave it in, but let's move on. Okay guys, next up is a Stichoplastora species Nicaragua female. You can see she's a water bowl tipper, not just filling it up with dirt. She likes to tip it. Let's see if she'll eat. I don't think I've ever had a red runner flip over and not be able to get back upright again. Let's give you guys a good close-up view of her. Good species to keep. You don't find them. They had an import a couple years ago. A bunch of these came in. I don't know that anybody's bred them or paired them since they've been here yet. I haven't seen a male come about. I don't think that she's mature yet, but we'll find out on her next molt. When I got her from Ruth, she like molted like a week or two later. And then one more time in the period of time that I've had her. But yeah, pretty plain enclosure. It's basically just dirt. There's a log in there. She did dig, but then she filled all her stuff back in. She just stays on top. So yeah, Stichoplastora species Nicaragua. We'll let her, let's see if we can't get her water bowl out here without her flipping out. Alright, chickie. We're going to flip this over here. And I'm going to fill it back up. How long are you going to leave it that way? We'll overflow this. I'd like to move her out of this enclosure into something different. Probably the Sterilite 7-quart shoebox. And then use this enclosure for something different. Not quite sure yet. Probably my Tarantula marinus Mikumi locale. Alright, let's venture to the next tarantula. Okay, we're going to try and feed the Grammostola porteri, female. See if she might have some interest. She's been doing pretty good feeding lately, so she watches the roach go right by her. This spider is like constantly on the move, which is, you know, generally not stereotypical for Grammostola porteri or rosea. You can see there she kind of lunged, but no, you don't want it. Which is absolutely not abnormal for them not to want to eat either. Okay. We're going to get the plant out of there because you just keep digging it up anyway. No sense of keeping something in there you don't want. One last pass. Alright, you got to go all the way over to her. Stupid roach. It's coming to the right hand side. Climbing the hill. There it is. And there we go. So we did decide we wanted to have a little munch. So I've decided that I've actually been watching some videos lately, more, killing some time in the morning before some of my programs come on Ion at 11 o'clock. I'm watching a lot of Tom Rand's stuff, and I've decided that I need to see if I can ask him if I can borrow Billy. I need a camera person, and I'm sure I can get my daughter to do it. We probably could try that one time and actually have them film from up higher. I don't know if that will help the videos at all or not, but we'll have to give it a shot and see. But that's the good part about Tom's videos is, a lot of stuff Billy does his filming for him. So she gets angles, and he can work with two hands and not have to worry about touching the camera or moving the camera or anything else like I have to do, and other people that do YouTube videos have to do. But yeah, I need to hire a Billy. So yeah, all right, well, let's move on. As I rambled on about Tom and Tom's wife, we'll move on to the next one. Next up is the Lasiodora klugi, suspected female, but that's all, just suspected. I don't have anything really to make me really lean more towards the other way, male or female with this one, but I did catch a quick ventral glimpse. I thought it looked female, but I didn't get a real close one, so we should get a pretty good chomp out of her, yeah. Lasiodora, big hairy black spiders. All of them. Klugi, Dipicillus, Parabana. I know the Itubinae. I don't have one of those. The Itubinae. I think that's how you pronounce that, Itubinae or Itubinae. I just have the three. And my Dipicillus is still a sling that is a crappy eater and is growing at a snail's pace. But this gal here hopefully is a girl, one of my favorites. There's not much difference between them and the Parabana, except for the amount of hair on their legs and the coloration too. The Parabana is more of a pinkish. These are more of a, I don't want to say reddish, but different tinting to the coloration. But this is still juvenile, roughly 3 inches long, 3 1/4 maybe. Good eater. We probably could put another roach in there. I'll probably take it, but we're just going to give it the one for today, and we'll move on. One of my two Homoioma chilensis. I highly doubt she's going to eat. She has not been eating well at all. Actually, since I paired her last time, she ate real good for the first month or so after the pairing, and then she just completely plateaued, just did not want to eat anything. We're going to throw something in there and see. I know she's on the older end. She did come to me gravid when I first got her, 4.5 years ago. And she laid an egg sac like 2 days after I brought her home from the expo that I got her from. And abandoned it like 5 or 6 days in. And at that point, I had not experienced working with a bred spider or a gravid female before. And I was not sure exactly what to do. I got some advice. I tried to incubate them, but the eggs never made it. So they didn't even really do much of anything. So we're going to try and feed her. We'll just see. Again, I highly doubt she'll eat, but every time I say that, she surprises me. I can almost guarantee it. That roach will probably climb on her back and ride her like a horse before she decides to eat it. Still calm and docile. She's full grown. Like I said, I would say she's probably over 10 years old, but it's so hard to tell. The age of tarantulas, it's just like next to near impossible to be able to do it. See, she's like kind of moving around so the roach can get past her and climb underneath her cork bark tube there that she used to use that does not anymore. She just kind of walks around. So anyway, we'll give a little top view real quick of her. She could be coming up on a molt. It's very possible. If she does, then we'll definitely look for a male for her. I know we have a couple people that have males. We just got to get them mature. And maybe we can make more of these. I know people have bred them and paired them, but I have not heard of any egg sacs recently. So they do take quite a long time to gestate too. So that could be a part of it as well. Next is the Grammostola rosea. This is a male, juvenile. He's back to being browned out again. He showed a little bit of reddish last molt, but not much. hopefully this next molt we'll get some reddish out of him. But let's see if he's somewhat interested. Yep, he's interested. As long as it comes right to him. You can see his right front. No, I guess not. Yeah, he's closing in on molt. You can see a lot of his setae on his legs in the front going away. And they come right at you now. Gonna take your prey item all over the place or what? What are you gonna do with it? Gonna go hide down there? There you go. Their little hideaway right there, or his little hideaway I should say. Alright, so we'll let him eat and we'll move on. Okay, so next is my Brachypelma baumgarteni. We are going to redo the enclosure. This is mostly cocoa fiber, and this is the part about cocoa fiber I hate. See what it does? It shrinks and pulls away from the side. So we're going to do my new mixture, what I've been using. I got a bag of topsoil 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've been mixing that in with everything. Cocoa fiber, cocoa coir, peat moss, sphagnum moss, whatever I decide at the time, you know, vermiculite, also sand, all kinds of different things that we're mixing in together. And I found good mixtures for certain species that with the topsoil, the topsoil, it holds the form better. The peat moss helps spread it out a little bit. You add the sand in there, helps filter water down through. But enough of me talking. Let's get this roach in there and see if we can get... The roach went right down that crevice back here. Wow, I'm surprised. This one's usually a really good eater. Shouldn't be due for a molt for a while. It molted a couple months back. Come on, roach. Go to the spider. To the spider. There we go. Yeah, I was going to say, this one usually doesn't skip a meal. There's another tipped over water dish. So yeah, we'll probably do maybe we'll do a rehousing video of this one here. This, I believe, is female. I think I'm almost positive this one's female. Okay, let's move on. I enjoy all baboons. This one definitely is on one of the top of my list. This is the Ceratojaurus darlingi. We'll see. Should be wanting to eat. Come on, roach, get out of there. There you go. Yeah. Ceratojaurus, good eaters. Great webbers. You can see the horn. So again, this is unsexed. The horn does seem to be big enough at this size to probably think female. I don't want to say female, but think female. I hope so, because I love my other female and she just passed away out of nowhere. So I think my summer's going to be built on adding to my baboon collection and taking away from some of the other things that I have. Some of my South American species, maybe the Nandus, Lasiadoras. I don't know what I'm going to cut back on to increase some of these. You know, I want to get a few more Darlingis and Marshallis and Sandaris if I can find some. Some more Harpactira, definitely. You know, whatever I can get my hands on. Ensiocotella, definitely I want to get more of those. Yeah, so this is one of the Ceratojaurus that we'll feed. There'll be another one here in a second. And we'll be skipping the Brachycephalus because that one's in pre-molt. Okay, next up is the Ceratojaurus marshalli. You could see it in the right-hand side there. Molted a couple weeks back. I fed it once. We're going to feed it a larger roach this time and see what happens. Yeah, we're interested. I know you are. Probably a male marshalli. That's why I want to get some more. There you go. when you get baboons to come out and stay out, they're absolutely fascinating to watch feed. The colorations are just, I mean, look at these deep browns, these earthy tones, which I just absolutely love, these earthy dark tones. We rehoused the Ceratosaurus sanderi into a 8x8x8 Exoterra. Really enjoying her in there so far. I guess she molted the same day that this one here molted. Now there's a small protuberance there of a horn, but I'm pretty positive this is a male. I would expect to see something a little bit higher up, but who knows. I've not got a good molt from her or the Darlingi yet, so you can see the webbing that it's done. There's not a ton of substrate in here for it to dig, but there's all kinds of stuff for it to hide in and around and under, and it's been doing well. I'm pretty thrilled. So yeah, another one of the baboons in the collection. The Tarantula lugardi, I've tried to feed. Matter of fact, the roach is still in there from the feeding I did a week and a half ago. It buried itself. I'm assuming it was in pre-molt. Maybe it hasn't molted yet and is getting ready to, and that's why it's not come out in such a long time. The webbing seems to be being kept up, so I do think it's coming out every now and then, but it's just not eating right now, so we didn't even bother putting that one in to the video. Also, let's see what else didn't feed. Man, I don't remember who else I missed. He keeps going from one side to the other here. Maybe this will be our try to get a picture of it so we can use it for the thumbnail. Well, maybe not. You're going to go back into your little corner now and stay. Okay, let's move on. This is a species for a while I wasn't even sure I wanted to keep. Hopefully it'll come out. Well, I'm sure it will. This is a male, Boomba cabocla. It's not one that was ever on my radar, but I ended up in a situation where I picked one up. Of course, it's a male. I thought it was going to mature this last molt, and it didn't. So I'm hoping that it will now so that we can get it off to a female and make some more of these. Let's see if he'll come out. Very flighty, but good eater. Likes to, yeah, there you go. He'll stay down in there. I'm sure he'll bring it out, so we're going to give him a second or two. I hope this video, it's going to be long. So, you know, maybe I'll have to do a quick intro for it, because there's quite a few spiders already, and there's already a couple clips that are over 2 or 3 minutes long. You're going to bring it out. No, you're not going to. You're just going to do the dance inside there. Alrighty then, we're going to leave you alone. We'll move on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more there that we're going to try and feed. And then, ooh, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 20, 25 more. We're going to try and stuff them all in one video, and you guys can watch it at your leisure. You know, you can watch part of it for a little while and come back to it later. We'll see what happens. Brachypelma rhodum, you can see it's starting to darken. It looks fatter than it actually is on camera here. It's not as big as what it looks. We're going to try and get this one to a molt too. We're going to give it a real, oh yeah, slammed it. It's been an excellent eater. Of course, all the way up to pre-molt. It's very skittish and jittery. It's back inside of its deep hole there. It's another enclosure I want to redo with the substrate. This is definitely one that would probably, I'd like to move up into the football, or mini football helmet display case. So if we move the Stichoplastoris, then we'll definitely move her. So now I have 3 aurotums. This is unsexed. We have the female that I got from my brother, and then we have a small sling that I got in from Tom Patterson. So, like I said, I got quite a few Brachypelma now. The only ones I'm missing are the Albiceps, and hopefully those will hatch out sometime soon, or the females will drop egg sacs sometime soon over there at Chris's place, and we'll have a whole bunch of babies, maybe by the end of summer or fall, sometime in that area. But if I came across a small juvenile Albiceps, I wouldn't be I probably wouldn't pass it up, let's put it that way. Alrighty. Okay, next up, I don't know why this seems like it's zoomed in like this. I must have changed the setting or something. I hope this is coming out, because I'll be pretty ticked off if I film all this and I got to redo it all. Anyway, this is one of the probably these next two will be two of my most reclusive Tarantula species. They're both marinus, but they're from the Kigoma region, or Kigoma locale. I don't see these guys out very often. They are absolutely stunning when they are out. That's why, because dumbass zoomed it in. That was probably with the Boomba Cabocla, huh? I'm not the brightest in the bunch sometimes, you know? Sorry about the raspiness. Allergies are killing me. Yeah, take some water here and maybe that'll help my voice a little bit. We'll watch out roach for a second. That gray thing there is one of those rocks from PetSmart, Petco, whatever it is, with a hole in the side and a hole in the bottom. That's where this one took up housing. These are antler. They were actually Christmas ornaments. They had a bell on them, and then they had like a piece of yarn that held the two of them together. I bought a whole bunch of them a couple years ago and cut them all up. Took the metal screws out of them that held the bells, and then used them as decorations for webbing tarantulas. You can see, again, this is a Tarantula, and there is absolutely no visible webbing. So we're not going to spend too much time. This one just doesn't seem, they just don't seem to want to come out for me. We'll try the other one and see what happens. Sure, he's going to eat. Before we get to the other Tarantula, this is my mature male Plesiopalma species Bolivia. I have not been able to find anybody that has a mature female for him. We've had people searching on arachna boards. We've looked on Spinder, checked the couple other arachnid groups on Facebook that actually will let you post up for sale or looking for, and we can't find anybody. So we're going to try and feed him and see. I don't think he'll eat, but I never know. And I really never know with mature males what they're going to do. He's been mature for a while, but he is a New World, so, you know, a terrestrial, so, you know, I don't think he's going to want to eat it. Actually, he's threat posing it. That's interesting. You've never done that before. It's actually a pretty calm and docile species. Very, very small. The male is very, very small, 2 inches, maybe a touch over. I do have a sling. I had to pick up another one because I absolutely love this, and I really, really hope this next one's a female, because they are pretty gorgeous. Matter of fact, since I have him open, we're gonna give him some water, try to keep these males hydrated. He's the only mature male that I have at the moment. Alrighty, let's, well, sorry he didn't feed, but let's move on. Here is the other Tarantula marinus Kigoma. Again, if you get to see it, you'll be thrilled that you see it. Odds are you probably won't. Right now the spider is actually, you can see where the shadow is right here. That's where the spider's at right this moment. So we'll see what the roach does here. And we'll see if the spider wants to come out. I really want to rehome these two into something that gives them more. I didn't put a lot of dirt in here. I gave them places just to hide. And I think I want to rehome them into something different that's... I actually have 2 critter keepers that I might want to put them in. And my problem right now is trying to figure out where to put the critter keepers if I use them. Yeah, see, this one's not going to come out either. It just... I don't know what it is about these two. See, it's all over its webbing. This one does have a little bit of webbing where the other one didn't. And they just do not want to come out. But I'll put them away and I'll look at them later and the roaches will be gone. They just seem to not like the spotlight. It's too bad because they are really, really nice looking spiders. I don't trust this species a lot to keep the lid off. So you don't see me feed them very often. They are quick and they just take off. This is Dolichothelli diamentinensis. I believe this is the male. Yeah, this is the male. The smaller one is unsexed, of course, but we'll see. I got to be like right on top of things here with, because they bolt, and I really don't want a beautiful spider like this running around the house. The roach is over here in the webbing. Now you'll see the roach coming to it. Okay, he's making an interesting move, and goodbye. Oh, you missed it. It's like underneath you. How did you miss that? You flat out missed it. Yeah, you got to back up a little bit. Oh, maybe you didn't miss it. Oh yeah, you did miss it. You didn't miss it now, did you? Beautiful, beautiful species. If I had to pick a dwarf to keep, this definitely would be the one. Even though Seriocosmus is a gorgeous, gorgeous genus, these guys, as you can see, they get their coloration real quick. I think they're better looking than GBBs because of the more bluish part of their carapace. It doesn't go completely orange, it's more of a reddish, but you have that blue tint in there as well. They do have the greenish type carapace there, as you can see, and the blue legs. Just absolutely stunning spiders. A lot of fun, great webbers. They usually dig. All the ones I've had prior to this one here have dug, and this one just doesn't want to do it. It just webbed. When I put it in this enclosure, it molted 5 days later, and I was like, ah, crap. You know, maybe we should have. I mean, it's not too big of an enclosure, but I put in the decor for it. That's lichen. Some lichen I put in there, and it just webbed it all up. So I'll take a picture of this one. That one looks like a good thumbnail picture, doesn't it? All right, we still have a bunch more to feed, so let's just keep going. Here's one of those. We're going to move over here. I don't know why I'm way over here now. Here's one of those species that I highly recommend for beginners if you want to try your first dwarf species. This is the Hapalopus species, Columbia large. They get their coloration very early. They're very hardy. They web a lot. They will dig. They will use burrows. You can see, there it is. There it is. They really are good hunters. They will chase their prey all the way around and not even hesitate. The roach went inside of that skull there. Now the spider's got to figure out where it is again. You can't beat the colorations again. I mean, how hard, black and orange together are, you know, I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Look at that. I got 2 of these in last year from Tom Patterson. They were small, 3/16 of an inch, maybe a quarter. This one has tripled its size, even quadrupled its size, where the other one's only molted 1 time. This was molted quite more. Now, that does not necessarily mean that this is a male, just because it's molting more, because my female that I had years back molted like a machine. And I thought for sure, you know, oh man, it's the sort of amount of times as it's molting, it's definitely going to be a male, and it wasn't. It turned out to be a female. So kind of hoping that we get a female. They're absolutely wonderful. Great species to have in like an 8x8x8 Exoterra. These, Dolichothelys diamentinensis, Dabus penniloris, things of those nature. The ones that get about 4 inches are great spiders to put in those, especially the ones that web a lot. Web and dig and you know, like decor. They just make it look real creepy, and I think that's one of the big allures for tarantulas is the creepiness of them, and the webbing kind of adds to that culture. All right, so we'll let him or her figure out where her meal is, and we'll move on. We're already 2 minutes into this clip, so again, this video could be an hour long. Okay, let's move back, huh? Screwing up the camera work. This is Tarantula marinus from the Mikumi National Park. Love this spider. You'll see why. Just look at it. I mean, literally, this thing is just absolutely stunning. Again, you could tell the dark earthy tones, the browns, the blacks, the creams, the greens, all those colors are more appealing to me than, you know, blondes in the tarantulas are more appealing to me than those bright, beautiful colors. Not that I don't like the bright, beautiful colors, but there's more of an allure to me for tarantulas like this. Salmopaeus cambridgei, another one that's got that mossy green, Piscithera rufilata, those dark earthy tones. The Miranda, Piscithera Miranda, it gets those browns in there. Those are the kind of tarantulas that I like aesthetically more than, you know, the bright colored ones, the P. metallicas or the GBBs or even the D. diamantinensis. You know, Harpactira pulchripes. I love orange, so anything that's orange, of course, kind of appeals to me. But yeah, this one's still kind of small, but you could see just, I mean, look at the colors. I think this one here and my Zimbabwe are probably two of my favorites of the Marinus locales that I have. The Kagomas are cute and the real good looking spiders, but I just don't ever see them. So let's move on. I think we might have, well, I'm not sure what we got coming up next. Okay, this is the Tarantula marinus. This is the normal one that you see, that you think of OBT, the orange coloration. I think they call it the RCF. I don't even know. 3 entrances here, right up front. We'll see if this one's interested in something to eat. The roach, yeah, we're definitely interested in something to eat. We've got to get roach too. I don't want to disturb this side. Oh, roach, I don't think you want to do that. Where did you go? Did you actually go into the burrow? I didn't see you. No, you didn't. You're right there. Let's get you out of there. There we go. I would think that we would catch it in the corner, if anything, if we catch a takedown. That would be where I would think we would get it. No, maybe we disturbed the enclosure a little bit too much for it. I've added water addition to the smaller Tarantula enclosures. Oh, that's a bad move. Oh, you're going to regret that. The roach went into the den. That's not good. Well, not good for the roach anyway. Good for the spider because it doesn't have to do much work, but bad for us because we can't see it do the work. So let's move on to the next one. Other Tarantula marinus, the orange color, or the OBT, the one that you think of when you see them or hear them. I'm a little bit more optimistic of this one because you can see the legs are already out. So let's see what happens. We got to make sure that roach doesn't climb the webbing and gets out of the... Are you kidding me? You backed off? Why would you back off? You were like all gung-ho when I was opening up the enclosure. Oh, you're going to be a lazy Tarantula too, huh? Let the roach do the work. Oh, good night. Yeah, you saw the... Picture it in your head. Spider grab tarantula, or spider grab roach, spider go back into hole. So if you can figure that out in your head, play it back and forth a couple times, then you'll actually have seen what happened here. Another one of the Tarantula marinus locales. This is the Kenya locale. Another aggressive eating spider, right up there with the Mikumi locale that I have. I do expect this one to come out, but it may just wait for the roach to go to the beginning of the front of the burrow. Oh, maybe. Oh, we're actually going to get it to come out. There it is. Beautiful. Quick. Doesn't waste much time getting back in. Doesn't like to be exposed much. You won't see it sitting out like the Mikumi was when we opened up the enclosure. That one likes to stay out more. This one likes to stay down into the burrow, but sit at the edge right here on this side. It likes to sit right here, and you'll see the legs sticking out right in that area right there. This one's grown quicker than some of the other ones that I had, same size. This one's put on size a little bit more. Again, I've been pretty lucky with my Tarantula and my baboon species getting females. And I always hope that, at least if I only have one of them, I always hope that I have a female. I'm hoping next year, 2021, will be the year that I'll be breeding a lot of the baboon species that you see. If not, you know, we got all this year to get through, and you know, I'm hoping by the end of next summer is when we start seeing mature specimens, at least mature enough to breed. Anyway, a couple of these spiders are already a couple years old. I just don't feed as often as most people do, so the spiders don't grow as quickly here. Of course, in the wintertime, a lot of them don't eat much because it is cooler. I don't keep our house super warm because I don't like it being super warm, and neither does my wife, especially in the evening. So, okay, let's move on. This is another baboon. This is the Tarantula over to Jackie. I'll be honest with you, I do not see this spider. I find a molt and prey items missing, but I have not physically seen this spider since I put it in here. So if it comes out, I will be ecstatic, but I say the same thing all the time. I just want to see it come out, and it never does. Matter of fact, you could see the molt right there. This is what I mean. This is what I get. I'll see this. We'll see a molt, and then I won't see the spider. This is very, very reclusive. This one and my Tarantula species Arusha is another one that I very, 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 very rarely see. That one's a small sling still too. So I think this one should be in the 2-inch range, but again, you know, when I got it in, it was a little over an inch, so I'm assuming it's got to be 2 inches, but you can't even see it's dug so deep in. It just will not expose itself, so I'm not even going to bother going any further because I know we're not going to see it. This is the enclosure. Let's try this again. This is the third time. For the little cottle, again, that's not the correct pronunciation, but that's how we're saying it. Vegans. This is the only offspring other than that male Dolichothelli diamentinensis that you saw back there. No, that one. Yeah, that is. That Dolichothelli diamentinensis was an offspring of my male that I sent out. This is an offspring of my male that I sent out almost 5 years ago. Actually, I think it was 5 years ago that I sent this male out. This is the one that I kept. This is a female. Moved her into this enclosure about a week and a half ago. These are the side-by-side Dreamco plastics. Next door to it is the Phormictopus auratus that is in pre-molt right now. Actually, it opened up its burrow a little bit, but I'm not going to be feeding it till I see it come out. Spider's moving around. You saw the legs there. You don't want to go underneath there, roach. Yep, you're done. So I set this up again with these two rocks. This is the small hole, and this is what it looks like on the bottom with the bigger hole. So I put those there for it, and this was the piece of wood that I glued two pieces of wood together a long time ago, and I've been using it for different spiders, but she's had this in her last two enclosures, so I kind of brought it back. It's just kind of like an angle. I call it the Fred Flintstone house. If I put a wall on the other side, it would kind of resemble the Fred Flintstone house, but you can see here, it's just two pieces glued together, hot glued, and then gives her some place to go and hide. So I guess we're not going to see her. She doesn't want to come out. We're going to feed two more. I call them the Two Stooges. They'll be next in another enclosure similar to this, so you'll see here. Again, this is the Phormictopus auratus side. You could see, now maybe it didn't open up, that is still closed. It's been closed off about 2 or 3 days after I moved it in here. It's got that deep log there, and it's dug out a whole bunch of dirt. It's brought all that dirt out right there. So that one's probably molting, and we're going to move on to, like I said, the Two Stooges next. So there's the Gramstol Actaeon. The roach is somewhere back here. Right here, I believe. There it is. We got a little bit of excitement out of this. Oh yeah, you missed. You turned right and or left, and it turned right. There you go. Character, tons and tons of character with these two. Two of the ones that I enjoy watching the most. They're constantly moving around. They don't sit still very often. They like to roam. I really like them in these enclosures. They have stuff to dig under that they haven't. The Grossa, the hobby form one, will go underneath the log every now and then, but generally it's up and out. They haven't really ripped up their plants, which is nice because I get definitely tired of re-putting the plants back in. I kind of like the color contrast with the green in some of these enclosures, mostly with the New World species. Give it some water. Let it do its thing. I'm not going to take your food, I promise. We got dancing galore going on over here.